You ever think about how the same thing that could cause total destruction could also be the only thing that saves us? Well, today we're diving into a powerful story that's all about that. A wild journey of transformation, chaos, and ultimately redemption. This is the story of Panjurli. And that's the big question, isn't it? It's really at the heart of this entire thing. How can something that starts out innocent, then turns into this agent of chaos, somehow find its way back to becoming a guardian that people revere? All right, let's jump in at the very beginning of this incredible journey. So, our story doesn't kick off in some grand celestial palace or anything like that. Nope. It begins in a forest with a creature that's small, alone, and incredibly vulnerable. This is where we meet our main character, not as some powerful deity, but as a tiny, abandoned baby. Just try to picture this for a second. A litter of 5 baby boars is born, but, fate can be pretty cruel. One of these tiny boarlets gets left behind, all by himself. He's starving, he's scared, and he's fading fast. Talk about a story that starts with some serious abandonment. And this is his desperate cry. It's so simple, so innocent, and it just hits you, right? It shows you just how vulnerable he is. He's not a monster. He's just a hungry kid, calling out for his mom in the middle of nowhere. And right then, just as things are looking their worst, the goddess Parvati happens to be passing by. She hears his little cries, and when she sees this starving boarlet, her heart just fills with this overwhelming motherly love. She doesn't even think twice. She scoops him up, takes him from the forest all the way to the divine realm of Mount Kailash, and decides she's going to raise him as her very own son. But this perfect, idyllic life on Mount Kailash, it wasn't meant to last. As the boarlet got older, something wild inside him started to wake up, and it led him down a really dark and destructive path. So time goes by, and that small, innocent little creature completely transforms. He grows into this massive, terrifying boar. His body becomes huge, his tusks are sharp and menacing, and his physical appearance starts to reflect this inner turmoil that he just can't keep bottled up anymore. And this is really the core of the conflict, you see. On one side, you have the memory of this innocent baby, raised with all the love of a goddess. But on the other side, you have the reality of what he's become, a violent, fearsome beast, just consumed by this uncontrollable rage. It's like an unbearable urge he can't escape. So, he unleashes all of this fury on the mortal world. In his torment, he just starts tearing through the earth's crops, ripping up fields, ruining every harvest. And the result? It's catastrophic. People start to starve, society begins to crumble into chaos and total anarchy. With the whole world in danger, the situation obviously gets serious. The divine powers can't just ignore the chaos happening on Earth, and a really, really difficult decision has to be made. The news travels all the way up to the highest authority, Mahadev. His trusted attendant, Nandi, comes to him with this grave report. The boar, the one who was once a beloved child of Kailash, has completely lost his balance. He's causing immense suffering. It's a clear plea for intervention. But as soon as Parvati hears this, she's absolutely distraught. Her plea creates this impossible choice, right? The balance of the entire universe versus the unconditional love of a mother. She begs Mahadev, "My lord, this is the child I raised as a son. Please do not kill him." Her love is now in a direct showdown with the demands of cosmic justice. And in a moment of incredible divine balance, Mahadev listens. He honors Parvati's love. He chooses not to destroy the boar. But justice has to be served. So the verdict comes down: banishment. He's cast out of his home on Mount Kailash, sent back down to Earth to face the consequences of what he's done. So now he's exiled alone once again. The boar is forced to really confront what he's become. But this moment of judgment, it isn't the end. Not at all. It's actually the beginning of his final and most important transformation. Finally understanding the sheer weight of his destructive actions, the boar is filled with this immense remorse. He turns back to Mahadev, but this time not with rage, with humility. He admits he was wrong, he asks for forgiveness, and he pleads for a new path, a new purpose in life. And Mahadev grants it. He bestows this incredible boon upon the boar, basically transforming his entire being. He declares that from this day on, he will no longer be a symbol of destruction, but of protection. He's given a new name, a new identity, Panjurli Dev, the divine guardian of the harvest, and a true symbol of justice. And right here, the circle of his journey is finally complete. The very same creature who once brought salmon by destroying crops is now the one in charge of making sure they're abundant. All that destructive energy has been totally transformed, channeled into a protective power for the good of everyone. And that brings us back to where we started. The story of Panjurli gives us a pretty powerful answer. That, yeah, even a force of pure destruction can be transformed into a symbol of protection. It completes a circle, but it leaves us thinking about a much larger one. It kind of makes you reflect on the nature of our own actions, right? The power of forgiveness, and whether redemption is really possible for anyone or anything that's lost its way.